How's it going, everyone? Sethphir here, and Diablo 4 is releasing today at 7 p.m. EST. And before you start your journey, I wanted to arm you with my top 10 tips, tricks, and secrets for leveling. This is going to be a straight up TLDR, no BS guide, so let's go ahead and jump right into it now. My first tip is going to be to keep a main goal in mind. Your first main goal is going to be to reach level 50, complete the capstone dungeon, and unlock difficulty 3 so that you can start on the endgame activities that Diablo 4 has to offer. My second tip is going to be to follow the main story. This will get you majority of the way to level 50 and set you up in a nice position to transition into endgame. My third tip is going to be to ignore the side quests in the game. They offer a small amount of XP and rewards, and generally they are not worth it at all. My fourth tip is going to be to focus on Renown inside of each area. So in the starter zone, you're going to be able to collect Renown, and you want to focus on getting the statues of Lilith, completing the strongholds, and any dungeons that will boost you to that Renown tier. It's very important because the statues of Lilith will give you permanent stat boosts to your character, and the Renown tier rewards will give you skill points and Paragon levels, which is going to be very important for your in-game builds. I'm going to put a link in the description down below, which will show you a map of the location of every statue of Lilith and Stronghold in the first zone, so go ahead and check that one out. That is from Maxroll, so shout out and props to them. My next tip is going to be to unlock your class quests immediately. They will go ahead and start at level 15, and you will get very powerful bonuses and synergy, which will help you progress your leveling and in-game builds. My next tip is going to be number 6, salvaging items and what to do with them. So it is very safe to sell your blue and gray items for gold. I would go ahead and salvage your yellow or rare items because they will give you a material called Veil Crystal, and that will be very important for upgrading and enchanting your gear, so make sure to have a nice stockpile of that so that you are not super low and unable to do anything. And when it comes to legendaries, make sure you extract the power of a legendary that you don't plan to use so that you have that. Once you have collected it, you can feel free to salvage any additional that you are not using after that. My 7th tip is going to be to party up. This is going to be very important because you will get a 5% XP bonus just for being near anybody, even if they're not in your party, and you will get up to a 10% maximum bonus if somebody is in your party and near you. In addition to that, being in a party can often share experience off of the screen, so if somebody's in a zone doing something around your area, you will get to be able to leech XP from them, but you all get full value, so it is very, very beneficial to be in a party. My 8th tip is going to be to stock up on flask and make sure you upgrade your potion. The flasks are very important because they give a 5% experience boost, and you can even get a super easy level 1 flask called the Elixir of Barbs, when you could just stock up on that and make sure you have that permanent experience buff going. And as a side mention, there are also several campfires located near strongholds and main buildings, and you will get a buff on your characters. You can see at the bottom of my screen, I have a fire buff with 14 stacks that will give you bonus experience, so it is nice to set at that campfire and accrue that buff as well. Make sure you upgrade your potion from the potion lady inside of the town. It will start at level 5, then 10, 20, so that will give you a stronger way to heal yourself and will be very important in your journey. Tip number 9 is going to be aware of Codex of Power abilities coming from the dungeons. Every dungeon will give you a Codex of Power ability. Not all of them are going to be good for your class, so make sure to look at it and see if it is something important to your build, and if it is, make sure to get that before you continue on to the next area. And my last and final tip, number 10, is going to be to not waste your time upgrading and min-maxing your gear along the way. Just take whatever upgrade you happen to find and go ahead and roll with that, because you don't want to waste precious materials and gold replacing an item every few levels that you're just not going to use for very long. You're going to constantly find better gear, so just adapt and use what you have and progress from there. That's going to be it for this video. Make sure to subscribe, like, and hit the bell if you enjoyed these tips and found them useful. And keep in mind that I will be live streaming the launch of Diablo starting at 6 p.m. EST We will launch the servers at 7 p.m. EST, so I'm going to talk about the builds and the class that I'm going to be playing. And I'm also going to have a Honkai Star Rail stream at 4 p.m. EST before that, so if you want to come join me early and hang out and ask some questions, twitch.tv/Sethphir. Thanks a lot for your time and watching this video, and I hope to see you at launch, and we'll see you in the next video as well.